The Kamen Rider timeline has been drastically changed due to the Timejackers' interference by creating Another Riders. The Another Riders' presence strips the corresponding Riders' history clean, which includes their memories and the monsters they fought. But how far did the timeline change? Hey guys, it's Baron and welcome to another episode of Tokuthology. In this video, I will go deep in analysis what happened after the main timeline changed. How did it affect the other veteran riders and their life as presented in ZO? Let me note that this will be according to my speculation and me theorizing what might have happened. These are theories, not facts. With all that said, let's begin.
Best match!
Build's presence in the main timeline is currently being debated as of this time of this video. Everything from the world of Build's events seems to have been integrated into the main universe, which is very unlike what was presented back in Build's finale, where most of Build's events were erased. But let's see how Build's history changed in the ZO timeline after another Build's presence. Kamen Rider Build, Sento has reverted back to Takumi Katsuragi and is shown to be a bit more friendlier than what was presented back in Build as the double scientist. This was most likely due to the Skywall incident no longer happening, meaning his father never disappeared on him and never led Katsuragi to join Faust. Although, Takumi still has Taro Sato's face for some reason.
なんで桂木匠とセントが同じ顔してんだよ。ほら、焼肉太郎みたいな顔してさ。
科学は世界では割り切れない。
あ、ごまかした。
Ruga Banjo also goes through a change. Without Evolto possessing him as a fetus back in 1994, he would no longer have Evolto's DNA, and somewhat be friends with Takumi, both becoming Taro Sato fans. The status of the rest of Team Build and etc., which I'm hypothesizing, would live lives somewhat similar to what was presented back in the New World. Although, I must point out that ZO does not exactly take place in the New World's timeline. Let's level up and see how X-A's history changed in the ZO timeline after another X-A's presence. Since this is a timeline where the Bugster virus never spawned after Y2K, Emu Hojo wouldn't have been infected with game illness, meaning that he didn't get into that traffic incident when he was a child. Although, Emu is still shown to be a doctor in the ZO timeline without the accident. I guess he was inspired to become one because of his father, who happened to be a doctor. As revealed in Mighty Novel X, Emu's father Kiyonaga was involved with the creation of the Bugster virus. Like Takumi Katsuragi, Emu would probably live a normal life with his dad around, who inspired his choice on his occupation. Without the existence of the Bugster virus, both Zero Day and the Kamen Rider Chronicle events no longer happened. Hiro's girlfriend Saki would still be alive, meaning Taiga Hanaya never got his license stripped and still has his full black hair. Poppy and Parado would no longer exist due to the both of them being Bugsters. Without Parado, Emu probably wouldn't have won competitions under the monk here M, and would have likely affected his first encounter with Nico Saiba. The life of the Dan family, consisting of both Kuroto and Masamune, would too take a drastic change, but we'll hold them off once we get into O's. Let's jet through how Fourze's history changed in the ZO timeline after another Fourze's presence. The Kamen Rider Club is still shown to be intact. Kamen Riders still exist in the ZO timeline. It's just that the Heisei Riders don't exist there anymore. But the Riders that the club probably looked up to was most likely the ones from the Showa era. There's a real possibility that the Rabbit Hatch still existed on the moon and used as a base for the Kamen Rider Club. Plus, Kengo, a core child, was still born and had existed in this timeline. Despite the changes in this timeline, Gentro is still shown to be a teacher working at Amanogawa High, previously shown in Movie War Ultimatum and Heisei Generations Final. Another intriguing addition in the Fourze tribute was the appearance of the two Monster League members. Since this is a timeline without the Zodiarts, the Hercules Zodiarts never exploited the Monster League, hopefully giving them even more happy lives.
Complete. Faiz!
Let's open our eyes and look how Faiz's history changed in the ZO timeline after another Faiz's presence. When another Faiz was born, a few fans were confused whether or not Mari is alive since the elephant Orphanok was crushing the car that she was in. Because the Another Riders also wiped their respective riders' enemies from existence, the monster is gone, meaning Mari might be alive. In the original timeline we knew, as revealed in the Kamen Rider Yongo special, Takumi Inui died sometime after Faiz's finale, with Shocker's time alterations keeping him alive. After that, it's implied that he's permanently dead after the loops ended. Masato Kusaka was too dead after having his life cut at the hands of Yuji Kiba in episode 48 of Faiz. Now in Zio's timeline, both Takumi and Kusaka are alive in 2018. Takumi remains human, no longer an Orphanok. Without the existence of the Orphanoks, there isn't any monster race for Kusaka to discriminate against. It's most likely through that explains the slight change in Kusaka's personality in contrast to what was presented back in Faiz, with him being in a frenemy type relationship with Takumi, a slightly better person than before. Hey, I did say slight change. The status of the renegade Orphanok like Kiba, Kaido, and Yuka in Zio's timeline is unknown. Either they're alive and human like Takumi, or they died from their respective deaths. The shady phone company SmartBrain might not exist, but the Ruse School was mentioned and still exists in Zio, only as a school to foster orphans, and all the victims of the Orphanok incident would still be alive. It seems that's all I will talk about in this video. This Tokuthology will be multi-parter, as I will try to come up with my own theories on what happened to the other Kamen Riders sometime in the near future. Comment down below if you have more questions, give this video a like, and subscribe for more Tokuthology episodes. I'm Baron, signing out.